You have to go check out Hourglass Brewing over in Longwood.
It's amazing.
Because they have a 10,000 square foot facility.
A beer complex.
Yeah, with they also have the that Waco Taco that is literally right next door. So you can get food.
They got the tacos. They got 42 taps. Well, 84 if you go both locations, but 42 in each. They got the pinball machines. They got the video games. You can axe throw, courtesy of Celtic Axe.
Yep.
It's phenomenal, and it's massive, so you can space out and have a good time.
And we've got a couple promotions. Obviously, they're a watering hole of ours. And there's 2 locations. There's one in Longwood, Hourglass Brewing, and then they got their tap room off Curry Ford right there in Orlando, and they have all the beers there as well. But they're brewing a new beer each week. Delicious beers. They got a little corner for local artists. Eric Pabon has some of his art on there.
Yeah, you can drop in there, check out local art. They've got cigars if you want one of those.
Also, they got the Tom and Dan gibbets for your Crocs, which I personally don't like.
Yeah, you
but
do not
Daniel
like them.
loves,
I love them.
And apparently a lot of people do.
Yeah,
so
you stop in there, buy a beer, and I think you get a gibbet.
Yeah, just ask for a Tom and Dan gibbet. You got the watering hole party patches that you could ask for. We're going to have some pint glasses.
I mean, what more do we need to say? It's pinball, tacos, beer, and gibbets. I mean, it's great stuff.
It's Hourglass Brewing in Longwood.
So you're starving yourself again.
No, I'm not starving myself. I'm just
What happened? You partied
You
a little.
anorexic, bro?
Okay, let me guess. Let me guess. You partied too hard when you went away to the Davenport house. And you partied. You did your typical Champions Gate, blow it sideways.
Yeah.
And you're eating everything and drinking everything. And you felt guilty when you came back. And now you're doing that thing where you're like, if we get a sandwich, you only eat the meat. If you get like a rice bowl, you only eat the meat and veggies. Right? Starving yourself.
I'm not starving myself.
Saving your calories for alcohol.
Yeah, I'm doing. Yeah, you
can't live off alcohol.
No.
By the way, Butler did make a comment about how you were taking too long at Publix to get your lunch today. He's like, he's been gone a long time.
Oh, God damn it. I had to poo-poo. Why did
I told him don't chop her when he gets back.
Butler, get in here.
And then I brought it up.
Butler, get in here. You did it. You did it again. Oh, he's so happy. Look how happy he is.
Who notices that? Also, who makes a comment? Like, if someone leaves and then it's a lunch break, I don't care how long. I don't even wonder what they're doing.
Our sales guy,
it's their business.
Jack of all trades. It is our good friend Travis Butler.
Like, it's there.
Well done. You know what?
If any of you
presto trip for you, sir. Well done.
When we go to lunch and if anybody decides to leave, I'm never going to even wonder where they are unless it's past the time when they're supposed to be back. You see what I'm saying?
So you got that hour. Yeah.
Like, and they come back 1 minute. I won't even wonder. Like,
if you're a minute. So we had an interview at 11. It didn't. It fell through, and we're going to reschedule.
Yeah,
but if you came in here and you were sitting ready to go, which you were, by the way, and I was coming in late, you weren't at all ready to text me and say like, "Where you at, bro?"
No, because I already assumed that you were trying to get back here as fast as possible.
Did you know?
Because I know you. There was no reason to text you. You knew about the interview. You knew what time it was. You were driving here as fast as humanly possible.
Did you know that I had to stop at Publix to take a poo?
No.
I just wanted to spare you guys because...
Don't spare us, bro. We have a bathroom here. We're all adults.
No, come on.
We're all adults here.
It's
the sounds. If you could just stay quiet when you do it.
No. It's more than that.
It's the screaming.
It's more than that. And then someone in the Publix is busy, and then there's people walking in.
What, that bathroom?
Yeah. They kept walking
I
in.
always look straight down at the umbrellas.
They were trying to clean the bathroom, but you wouldn't get out of there.
Well, I look straight down at the umbrellas. There's a totes umbrella stand. As you walk into the bathrooms, I look right at the umbrellas, and I know I'm going in there to do bad.
I was thinking, like, that the bag boys and girls are watching people walk in the bathroom.
It's right up front.
And then they said mental timers.
Yeah, they don't come out for a long time. They say to themselves,
dude,
that's anxiety, bro.
That makes you
well, that's what Butler's doing.
That means you have some sort of weird ego that you actually. How conceited do you have to be?
Well, it's people like Butler that makes them think that.
So that's
how
what
much
makes
of an
me
egomaniac do you have to be to assume that the bag boys and girls at our Publix are setting mental timers when superstar Tom Van walks in to take his daily constitution?
Listen,
that doesn't happen.
I'm not saying the bag boys and girls are choppers. I'm just saying there's a certain percentage that are. bar, and it's real high. And so they're doing the same thing Butler's doing.
Ploppers.
I'm afraid they're going to make a comment.
What are they going to say? What are they going to say? You're coming out.
Well, one Butler says it.
And like Andrea will do the everything come out all right in there.
Yeah.
And then you know what? I call her bluff. I go, no, it was horrible, and I got it all over my hands.
You should buy some matches before you go in there.
I say the most vile thing.
So what is it, Butler? How does your brain work where you're noticing how long people are taking?
Kept looking at the clock?
No. I knew you went to go get your lunch. You're usually faster than that. And I was sitting there, and it had been a while, and I was like, man, I'm taking a long time.
Did it occur to you that the reason I'm taking a long time is my own business, and maybe you shouldn't start talking to Samantha about why and contemplate what could be the problem?
What's wrong with having somebody care about you, bro?
He doesn't care about me. I know he doesn't.
He's worried about you.
No, he's not. He is not.
He is worried about you.
No, he's not worried nothing.
Something bad happened. You got hit by a car.
The thing that bothers all of us is that you buy your lunch.
If I die tomorrow, I'll be like, I don't have to go to work. That's all he's saying.
No, he texts me. He'd be like, hey, boss, there's nothing to do. Day off?
Tom said,
day off? I want to take the kayak out or maybe make a new thermal grenade.
Yeah, so
someone in the chat said he missed you, and that could be true because he was saving that video of that guy dancing around in Brazil or whatever.
He saves his favorite memes, his favorite.
He sent it to you through text, though, didn't he?
I tell you I don't like it. I said, what the hell is this video, Butler? And then you told me, and I was like, I don't like it.
He's got
so stop sending it to me.
He's got dancing baby screensaver. He's got duck job. He's got all
when have you ever seen me be happy about a meme or a dancing long neck? I have never.
Oh yeah, the new Bulgarian long neck.
Do I ever show you guys memes of that? Like, what makes you think I want to see that?
Occasionally, you'll show me the Michael Jordan crying meme. You know what's weird about you? What's weird
Why
about
is
you?
his eye so yellow?
That's jaundice.
Does he have jaundice?
Well, he doesn't not have jaundice. Closer to jaundice than away from jaundice.
Bro, your eyes are yellow. I don't know what that is.
I don't know. Maybe he's turning into a frogman.
You have slam dunked your eyes in pee-pee.
That's the dumbest thing you've ever said.
Now, Tom, the thing that bothers me is that you buy your lunch, you buy your sandwich, and then you buy us caffeine, but you buy it before you go into the bathroom to go number 2.
No, you don't.
Yes, he does.
No.
He goes through the line.
No.
Yes,
No.
and then he brings all of his groceries and he sets them on the floor and does his constitution and then he walks out. I've seen you do
I
this.
did that one time. I learned from that.
I learned
that's what a crazy person does. It was like,
Ew, you brought your groceries into the bathroom.
No,
and he
I
set
set
them on the floor.
No.
But he sets them near the sink. He goes to the handicap stall, puts them near the sink, near the wall.
No.
Like a handy. Like you know, you ever notice that homeless people, they go immediately to the handicap stall, and then they put their backpack with their change of clothes and toilet paper on the wall. Then they go bathe in the toilet. Right? You stand in the toilet. It's hard to get your toes down in that little hole. You got to almost geisha your toes into the hole and splash up.
Ugh.
You splash up. And then to do the other part, it's really hard because you got to do a hand stand on your shoulders and then repeatedly dunk your head while doing a handstand. You're like a swish, swish, swish. It's hard, man. Living on the streets.
He was just waiting. He was just waiting to show you that video.
Living on the streets is no joke.
But he
bro.
texted to me.
Well, you didn't get back fast enough.
Yeah, if you don't get back fast enough for the meme, he'll launch it.
And then what did you say, Samantha, when he said what?
I said, "Don't you chopper him," and then I brought it up on air.
Well, it could
but that's a good producer. You knew that's what I really
could have
want.
been retaliation for yesterday. Didn't you chop him?
What
when
about?
we were leaving?
You did.
What?
He said he had to run to the store.
And you said, "Who are you buying, bro?"
He said something something personal.
Yeah, I gotta go to the store and pick up something personal. You're like, "What are you getting, tampon?"
Well, he knew what I was doing. What Butler's doing is 100% legitimate and instinctual, which is odd. Like, his instinct is to ask what people are doing.
He's nosy. Is that what it is?
Inquisitive. Like, what are the...
That's a good way of saying nosy.
Yeah,
I'm inquisitive.
Like when I was over here trying to get the password correct for Seth's girlfriend's OnlyFans, Butler would come and put his head next... like, he'd set his head on my shoulder.
He's trying to peep for the password.
No, he's just watching me to see if I'm doing it right. And I'm like,
I'm just really comfortable cheek to cheek.
Give me a little space here, bro.
It's like the guy at the the next door cubicle, and he comes to work, and he's got sandals on, and he's got what's obviously psoriasis all over his feet. And the doctor said you can't put socks on because you have your psoriasis medication.
Our old manager used to have that.
And then
our old manager used to have these psoriasis feet. Oh my God. It was like Parmesan cheese every step.
So he had like a suit and a tie on, but with Tivas with red rashy feet.
Yeah, red rashy feet.
And then Butler was the type of guy, they'd be like, hey, what's wrong with your feet?
He would.
He would say, hey, what's wrong with your feet?
We could have been like introducing you to our big boss, and he'd be like, oh, whoa.
What happened to you?
My wife could really, crack your back.
Oh, yeah.
You'd have a whole spiel.
Yeah,
like, what causes that? You have an iron deficiency.
My wife can rub that out. Does your wife know you're sending disgusting people? I should email your wife and be like,
dear madam, do you know your I was going to say your son. Dear madam, did you know your slow son has been sending Disgusto El Barfos to your practice? Signed, a concerned Tom Van. Oh, damn. I said it.
It's just so odd because my natural instinct is to be quiet and not say anything. So, like,
but in any scenario, this place could be on fire, and you'd be like, be quiet.
Yeah, but
stay quiet. Like,
not my business.
But it's like if I was in an elevator, right, and I'm standing still, and I'm
I used to do this to you all the time, and
I know. But then someone next to me cranks a loud, like I'm saying, like not even a little fart, but just a loud blammer.
Blammer.
Like a blammer where you're like, did you do that on purpose? I will not even flinch. I won't. I will just. I'll turn to stone. I will stop breathing.
He'll turn to stone.
Yeah, that's what. Like I just looked at Medusa snakes, and then I'll just stand and because I would be so afraid to be awkward, like even being like, because it would be
torture to you, right?
It would be
a little bit.
It would be less uncomfortable if I was the type of person to be like laugh and be like, oh man, what'd you eat? Like
what'd you eat?
Like an old Texan, like that's what their personality is.
Like my dad. My dad would be he big fart. My dad would be like, whoa, who fired that shot? He had a whole bunch of them. He'd be like, right over the bow.
Now see,
he had a bunch of good audio. He had 1,000 different little fart quips.
If I'm me and your dad standing and he makes that joke, then I'll laugh with him because I'll really. But I'm talking about if they crank a loud fart and they obviously are embarrassed, I will not embarrass them further, and I'll stare at the wall and act like I couldn't hear it or whatever.
Yeah,
that's crazy. That's the exact opposite of Butler's. Like we are the exact opposite.
To be part of the Queen's Guard. He just stands straight ahead.
Yeah, he could. Yeah, absolutely could.
Yeah, that's got to be some sort of a personality trait, right? Like the people that are in the Queen's Guard that do that.
Yeah.
Although, like I was in St. Augustine last weekend.
I break too easy with a lot of things, man.
And they had one of those people, like street performers, and he was dressed like
with the living statues.
Just like a juggalo.
No, it was like he was like a doll. He was dressed like a 1950s doll.
I was going to say, was it Seth Stack?
It kind of looked like that, like a marionette or like a ventriloquist dummy.
My Irish rose.
He was dressed like a ventriloquist dummy, and he had like
he had the lines.
Yeah, the lines.
That's terrifying.
And
that is kind of scary.
But he was just sitting on the bench, frozen, doing his frozen thing, and then everybody's walking by, and I'm like, man, he's really frozen. Like he's not even moving at all.
He's dumb as really dumb. You're an idiot, man. You tell stories. And I'm this close to quitting the show. It's got no point. It's just gotten to a point where I can't take it anymore.
Dude, that's a skill to stand frozen like that. None of us could do it. Like, I mean, this guy was frozen.
I'm telling you, this guy looks like he'd been shot with a freeze ray. All right, I'm back in. I love the show again. It's so funny. It's just so funny.
No one cared. Oh, it was packed. Oh, it was packed.
It was packed. I went a couple weeks ago.
The easiest way to not get corona is to sit still on a bench.
No, he just sat there, and I wanted to bring my sons over to look, but then I was afraid that you gotta if you look at them too long, you gotta tip them
No, that's not the rule.
You don't have to.
That's not the rule.
Well, if you're not a cheapo.
Yeah. Because
no. If it's a singer-songwriter, if the guy's out there playing songs and you sit and listen to it, if the guy's just sitting there.
No, but that's his performance.
No.
I don't care.
Then what, do I have to turn my back to him if I just happen to be catching some shade?
No.
I'm not doing that.
Look in his direction.
You and I disagree. Maybe I'm grumpier than you because I'm not paying for you just to sit there and act like a doll. I'm not paying a doll.
But that's his entertainment. And then you tip him, and then he'll move to show that he's not really a doll.
That's money. Money well spent.
That's how I
Not a real doll.
Right? That's the thing.
Well, damn it. He got me good. I thought that was a doll and about $10.
So you're going to give a doll $10?
Who wants to go to the rendezvous and have an overpriced beer?
You just put $1 and then he moves.
No, not doing it.
He didn't do it for a kid. Like, I was going to bring Tommy and Max.
Singer-songwriter,
I put $1.
That is not an act.
Because my sons would be like, "Oh my God, that isn't," because he was so still.
Your sons see a man on a bench who has face paint, crude homeless face paint, and they're like, "Oh my God, somebody left their doll here." I don't believe that. I don't believe that.
No, but he's so still. They've never seen a human be that still. Like,
they are that human.
They are that still, yeah. You're right.
Just paint them like dolls. And you can be rich.
It's true.
I set him in St. Augustine bench.
You're rich.
Just sit here.
Tipping them, they're just sitting there.
I don't want to do that.
I just want to be a doll. It's a great life, I guess. They're not. They didn't even have the. He didn't even have the platform.
No, he's sitting on the bench.
Yeah.
Just sitting on the bench. And
so you tipped him. What did he do to?
No, I didn't. I just walked.
You're a chicken.
Well, I don't have dollars. Who's got dollars?
I get it. Dollars.
I don't have any cash on me anymore, so I would have tipped him because if I had dollars, I was going to get my sons to come back.
Excuse me, doll. Do you have Venmo?
They should have some sort of
A lot of performers do now.
like a
some
sign.
Cash App or whatever, yeah.
Because then, if like each tip, like their phone could vibrate, and then they could move and show that they're not a doll.
Yeah. What I like to do
You
is
got to start managing these dolls.
maybe they could get a
doing a bad
Fairvilla
job.
dolphin, a strap-on dolphin, and then when you tip them, if they have the pink wand inserted, it vibrates, letting them know that they've been tipped, and then they dance like a doll.
Let me ask you guys this. So, when I was walking through St. Augustine, I was walking behind a guy, and it was so packed that I couldn't even walk around him because it's like
He's a big fat slob.
When it's like, when you're walking in the fair, you just have to walk with the masses of people.
Can't stop either.
B to B, yeah.
Yeah, you can't.
It's hard for me to do. As little as I am, my wife and my daughter, being like full-size humans, they start ripping through crowds, and I have to hang back, and I'm like, wait,
So-
the doll.
It is hot outside, of course, and I mean it was like 91, and we're in like 2:00 in the afternoon, so it's peak heat, right?
Yeah.
So
2 or 3 is just gross.
I'm dying, and I got a V-neck and tiny dukes on and
right.
sandals,
Yeah.
and I'm like,
Took the
God, it's
polo
hot.
off.
Yeah.
So
Why don't you just take your shirt off, buddy?
This guy had like vampire boots. You know what I'm saying? Like fancy.
Wait, you mean Goth to Death? I support these guys.
Yeah, and
They don't care what it is; they're just going to wear it.
he had like maroon pants, but this is more like he wasn't goth. It was like a fashion person from Europe, right? So he had maroon jeans.
must be one of them fashion people from Europe.
Oh my God. You're still
Oh my God!
No,
Wait, what have we got here? One of us, them there, scientistos.
he was dressed like a future vampire in disguise. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe
like,
he was.
But he had a knit black turtleneck on.
Oh, come on.
And it was thick knit. Like
Like a sailor sweater.
yeah,
He
like
didn't work at like the steampunk store there.
well, that's what Crystal said. He may work at some sort
Had
of
to have,
thing,
or the
like,
torture
use a
museum
costume.
or
But
something.
There are
We-
steampunk people in Florida.
I walked
There's a whole store
far.
for it in St. Augustine.
Well, stupid because it's too hot for steampunk.
And he was talking to his family, so it seemed like he wasn't just an employee walking to his.
Was he a tour guide?
No, it didn't seem like it was over the top, like he was dressed like a pirate or some sort of thing. It was just wearing like a a knit sweater.
You have a top hat with any type of copper goggles on it?
Trifold.
And some people are able to wear those things in hot weather, and it doesn't bother them, and I don't understand how.
Because they're usually like super skinny people.
He was skinny.
Yeah. Super skinny people can rock trench coats all the time, can rock like jeans all the time.
Is it because their core temperature, the fat, like our fat, like keeps us running hot?
Yeah. That and we're alcoholics.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think it's a fad like keeps you hot. I think we're 96.5, every one of us.
No.
Skinny people tend to wear the more hot clothing.
They can.
Yeah. Like you don't see a bigger dude.
That person was definitely hot though. Like if he's wearing some thick wool knit, like a cotton sweater, some leather jeans and some boots.
He was eating ice cream too.
He was definitely hot. Definitely hot. He's like, God damn, I'm dying.
But like I'm sweating, and this guy didn't seem like he was
Wait
drenched.
a minute. He wasn't goth?
I don't know.
Because I don't like it when goth people do fun things.
He could be mod.
If you're going to be goth, you can't eat an ice cream. Not in front of people.
Yeah.
But you got to eat that behind
Unless you just let it melt.
Yeah, well, that would fit that would be on brand if you just let it roll down your hand.
Yeah. You can't be riding a ride.
Yeah, no, you can't own a convertible.
Yeah, you can't have any fun.
You can't be goth and own a convertible. It's just that doesn't mix.
Yeah. Can't be singing karaoke. Like any of that. Yeah, you have to walk and be sad.
You have to walk it like you talk it.
Bye-bye.
Sports. They're important for you and for me. Some would say that sport and competition are woven into the fabric of America and to the people that live in this fine country. This is Nerd Jock. That's my new.
What about the nerds? You only talked about sports.
No. Yeah. Well, we'll get to that part.
Okay.
Here's
you didn't like my intro. I would get a cold.
Well,
I went in cold.
I feel like we need to explain this.
No. Don't explain it. They'll like it better. Trust me.
No, I know they will, but
this is a corporate time with Tom and Dan.
Yeah. I don't know what they
know. They know
that.
They know that. See, I'm going on all the stuff Tom tells me. He's like, they all know that stuff. All the stuff that I say, he's like, they already know that stuff.
Yeah. There's actually isn't Dan Stone saying?
Yes.
I've never listened to the show before.
No, he listens to this.
I don't even know where you would find this.
I think
unless you download it as a podcast.
Like Dan Stone says, and then there's an intro,
there's
and
like some music.
The whole thing. Yeah. There's
a guy. Did you know there's a guy that works there that puts this on the radio for us?
I know. Yeah.
It's crazy. I think his name is Harvey. Shout out to Harvey.
So EJ informed us last week that he's going on vacation, and that he wouldn't be able to do Nerd Jock this week. So there's a reason why in radio that every single, at the end of the year, everybody's got an insane amount of vacation days. Because for the most part,
job.
Well, no, but like people don't want to take off, especially like hosts, because they're terrified of someone doing a better job than they are, you know what I'm saying? Because they'll get guest hosts and live radio. This is the thing.
Well, until you get to a point where you don't care anymore. And then you're already coming in for a landing, so it doesn't matter.
Well, I'm saying if that's at the end of your career.
Yes.
You've already established it. But the beginning of your career, like everybody's paranoid of losing their job because they're
rightfully so.
Yeah, they're like, what if, the guy they get to guest host, the audience likes him better?
What if Billy the weather guy is a better host than me, Harvey the host?
And then the ratings go up, and then the management's like, we'll just,
By the way,
other guy do
this couldn't happen because ratings don't go up in a matter of 7 days.
Right.
Like, there'd be no way of knowing that. But anyway, you do get paranoid, or they want you to be paranoid enough to think this.
So, instead of just not doing Nerd Jock, I figured...
Which was a very good option.
Yeah.
I voted for that option. I said, let's just skip it. It's kind of like a vitamin you miss. You just skip it.
It's a way for us to talk about nerd stuff and jock stuff.
We find our ways.
It's one step below radio trivia.
Yeah. Which Drew hit me up again. He wants to do ACT trivia again.
I know he does.
So
you have to space it out. I almost feel like it's taking a trip to like Texas State, Brazil. You do that once a year. You don't go multiple weeks.
We're gonna test some, a new possible host of Nerd Jock.
Okay.
This goes better.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here we go. Right. Let's do it. Nerd. All right, and we're in. There it is.
So today we have Christine. How you doing, Christine?
Doing great. How you guys doing?
Good. You sound like you're talking from inside a water jug.
Well, he is.
Which is still
Better.
is better than hearing EJ's voice in his office. So, Christine, why were you willing to try out Nerd Jock today?
Honestly, because I think the entire Twitch chat thinks that a girl can do it better. So let's try it.
All right.
I agree.
Also, all of his nerd stories were always wrong.
Yeah. And his sports stories.
A lot of misinformation.
So far what I'm hearing is why would she want to throw her hat into the ring? Well, heaps of misinformation and a poor job.
Yeah,
and she looks better.
We knew she looked better.
Yeah,
the eyebrows.
Anything looks better than EJ.
One of EJ's sports stories were fake internet.
More than
video.
one.
Multiple times.
Anyway, so Christine, what do you want to start with today?
Let's start with Jock.
All right, Jock it is. You have the floor, milady.
All right, we'll start with Dan's new favorite NHL and a bit of Tom's favorite gambling. With NHL's Evander Kane of the San Jose Sharks, he's been accused of gambling on and tanking his own games by his future ex-wife.
Yeah, I
She
saw
actually
this.
posted a story. On Instagram, asking the commissioner how the NHL lets a compulsive gambling addict still play when he's obviously throwing games with bookies to win money.
Yeah,
Wow.
so she launched
She's
that
throwing
bar.
some shade.
Yeah, she threw shade hard, and then obviously he does what any guy kind of caught in the act would do. He's like, "There's no way, this is a crazy bitch." You know, he did that thing.
Yeah. Now
It's a good story. Well, it's not a good story. You know what I mean by that.
So, what's interesting about this is you could definitely get away with it by using like illegal bookies or like some offshore stuff. The way the internet's opened up a lot of different ways to gamble. The problem is you couldn't really get down unless as much money to be worth it for your career or imprisonment or whatever. I think you can go to jail for doing this, right?
I think so. But we've kicked this around before, and normally they have. It's like they've almost prepared for people to do this sort of thing, right? They're keeping an eye on these sort of things.
Well, it's like they set limits, so it's like unless you have an account, you can't bet like $100,000 unless you have a relationship with a casino.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like you can't get down
It's
some
just like
massive
buying a
amount.
Ferrari. You can't just walk in there and buy one.
Yeah,
You
off
would have
credit,
needed-
because so it's and then when you're talking about that kind of money, then if you're doing it legally, you got to have your full name and social security number. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like with the casinos, if you're talking about huge amounts of money.
Christine, is this something they're investigating? Like, what is the update as of the he said, she said?
Yep, so they are doing an investigation and they are expediting it to have it be done by September. The issue is that while he denies it, he actually claimed about $26.8 million in debt liabilities in January. He's being sued for $15 million due to fraud. And he was sued recently, a few years ago, actually, for $500,000 in gambling debt from Las Vegas.
Well, that's not a good look.
So so even if he's, let's say it, I mean, if you really want this story, from my perspective, to be white hot and old lady got one good on him, let's say he's cleaned his act up. He doesn't do any of that stuff. And she's just like, well, they know where there's smoke, there's fire. I'm just going to launch this little bomb and peace out. Since we're oh my God,
so
it's good.
What's interesting about this is I'm not, I don't know enough about hockey to understand like how you would, like point shave or affects the game.
It's stressful enough for me to watch it.
For instance, like in basketball, it's easy enough to point shave because all you have to do is miss some free throws that you normally hit, miss a couple threes that are wide open. You know what I'm saying? Like you can manipulate the game and points by little amounts throughout the game that affects it at the end.
There's got to be ways in hockey too.
But with hockey, it's like, all right, it's hard. It's not like you're going to 100% make a shot and then bank it off the, you know what I'm saying? Like in basketball, you're taking so many shots and there's so many points to shave off. Hockey, is like 3-2, you hard to point shave a goal. You see what I'm saying?
Right, but you could, I guess the difference in that, since you're not going to have exact things that you can relate to? I mean, it'd be like being out of position, skating a little slower, stuff like that. Checking the person incorrectly, not being as eager to.
Yeah, but
can you do it that way?
You may be able to, but the problem is you couldn't for sure guarantee that would have enough effect on a game to then bet the opposite. See what I'm saying? Like,
right.
So, like, there's lots of players and stuff that have bet on themselves to win because that's not considered bad because everybody wants to win. That's the whole thing.
Be allowed to do that.
But as soon as you start betting on the opponent, that means okay, well, you could lose, and you could definitely you can't guarantee yourself a win, but you can. In certain instances, depending on position, affect the game and lose. Kickers could do this, for instance.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
right.
Goalies in hockey could do this, but I'm not sure how a player could. Because, because then it's like, all right, could you fall down during a break? But that doesn't necessarily mean because the player still has to get through the goalie. And so it's like, are you going to bet an insane amount of money and risk your career? And then what are you going to do during the game that's going to ensure your win?
You can't.
Almost impossible. So I think this sounds like this guy's ex-wife is just saying this so that...
They're not even divorced yet.
Okay, yeah, but what I'm saying, this sounds like she's just
divorce,
yelling out. He's gambling. He's affecting he's probably drunkenly talked to his friends
it's
about
like what
this.
Your wife does when you're leaving Dave and Buster's and you're being angry, at her. And she's like, "He's drunk." Everyone, do you see this? See what I live with? He's drunk.
Or screaming, "He hit me!" or something.
Oh my God. Well, that's a whole different animal. Now you ratcheted it up. Then.
Well, I'm saying that there's been people that
I was trying to put myself in the scenario. And I didn't want the hitting.
Anyway, this is an awesome story, though.
Yeah. Well done.
First story, already better.
First story, you get in there.
You could, really.
It'd be a little sports minute with Christine.
And if you look how in the past, because there have been players that have... done this before, but like I said, mainly in basketball, and there's been the urban legend of other players in other sports, and the argument always comes down to, besides from NFL quarterback, which why would they ever do that? and then kickers, and then they were talking about kickers too. Could kickers possibly get paid off to lose games and stuff? And there's not really another sport besides basketball that you could have that much effect on.
The only one
to
I've
get
heard
away
of it.
with it. Anyway. So,
next story. What else you got, Christine?
All right. So in EJ Forum, Samantha, did you get the link that I sent you?
I did. Yeah, I got that. You want me to load up the video?
Yeah, let's go ahead and load it.
All right.
So in Poland, we have our MMA fighter named Kung Fu Panda decided to go up against a 3v1.
Okay, so he's going against 3 other opponents.
Yes, he is.
Now,
there he is.
I've seen...
You want me to start this from the beginning? It loaded...
No, you can start it right there.
All right.
You can only imagine what happens.
Okay.
All right.
Here we go.
Kung Fu Panda.
So, just before we start this is same rules as any other UFC fight. Everybody can do all the same things. It's just they can all gang up on this one dude.
Yep. In Poland, they tend to have some weird matches. There was one last year featuring an MMA fighter named Disco Polo Star, and he actually fought an influencer little person.
All right.
Man, Poland's got it right.
Yeah.
All right, hold on. Let's watch Kung Fu Panda versus 3 Walker 3.
You're not helping
versus one elite MMA fighter, Shadzi Nadstai.
Nie wiem, kto wygra. I lecimy, ale na pewno długo to nie potrwa. No nie, zdecydowanie długo to nie potrwa.
Okay, all right. They just now they're
W jakikolwiek sposób Kung Fu Panda wyszedł z tego, bo
the one guy's holding him and the other
przerwanie tego pojedynku.
Well,
that was stupid.
Well.
Yeah, of course.
That was great. Kung Fu Panda got killed.
Of course, and they had a strategy. I'm going to hold him down.
One hold him down,
and the other one monkey whip his nose off.
Yeah.
So this is stupid.
I'm a massive fan of the monkey whip.
And you see the internet video where it's guy outside of bar takes on 5 frat boys, beats them all. But those 5 frat boys not only are blacked out drunk, but they're also stumbling at him at different times. So all he's doing is one punch knocking each of them out. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's different than you fighting.
It's what you do in a video game.
You have 3 MMA fighters that have planned like a strategy. Like, hey, as long as one of us holds him down, the other 2 just start punching his face. Of course you're going to lose.
If any of the AI characters in video games ever get a plan, we're screwed. Because when I'm playing like those like fighting games, and there'll be 3 guys, and it's me versus 3 guys, I walk over to one guy way far away, I start punching him hard while the other guys are running towards me.
You got to separate.
You got to separate. Everybody knows that. Yeah, that's just simple PlayStation 101.
Also, it's got to be like, the old, would you rather fight a elephant-sized chicken or
hold on, you're going to mess this up real good.
I'm waiting for it.
Chicken-sized elephants. Is that right?
I think it's horses and ducks, but we'll go with it.
But
I don't know. I kind of like this chicken-sized elephant thing going on.
So it has to be one like legitimate fighter against
what about a chicken fried elephant,
a fat dad, a woman gymnast. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's got to be 3 different randos. It can't just be 3 less qualified MMA fighters.
Well, then it's just like a crazy menagerie of different people.
Well, this more entertaining. 3 just less as good MMA fighters are going to beat the one best MMA fighter correct at all times.
The interesting question here, though, for me is, Christine, where does one find a strange Polish Kung Fu Panda MMA video?
On Twitter.
No, yeah. It's everything.
Apparently, 1.3 million viewers actually tuned in for that Disco Polo Star and Mini Mac fight. So it's really popular over there.
I mean,
I'd watch it.
I would watch it too.
This is where all the fighting is going, right?
Yeah.
Ridiculous,
weird fights.
YouTube influencers.
You know, it'd be awesome. We touched on this a little bit earlier on a different show, but I'd like to see hoarders fight each other to keep their poo toilets.
Yeah. No. I mean, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I want people fighting for stuff that they actually care about.
Yeah. Like, you need to put all the random characters in the ring and let them fight like
Royal Rumble style.
Yeah, I mean, that's what's more entertaining than this. It's like, I want to see this guy fight like a dilly fat dad, some biker, you know what I'm saying? Like amateurs, not 2 or 3 other guys that look like him.
Batty Winkle, that old lady who still thinks she's got it, that squeezes her wrinkles into a bunch of disgusting clothing. Batty Winkle, a bunch of all that stuff. What else you got, Christine?
All right, we'll stay in Poland, and this will be our Nerd Jock segue, because the IMCF Medieval Combat World Championships are back on in Poland. They were moved from May, and this is a global historical full-contact sport fighting revival movement. Here at the grounds of the Malbork Castle, a competitor who says this isn't nerdy is full force, full contact, and shattered his fingers into 4 extra pieces when a long sword slipped under his gauntlet.
Yeah.
So, real swords, but blunted, real armor, with about 17 pages of rules and regulations for 3-on-3, 5-on-5, and 16 versus 16 full melees between nations.
They play this on ESPN, the crazier ESPNs. They play these medieval combat. Well, yeah,
we had a guy in here
right before the pandemic. We had these Orlando Knights of Orlando or something. These guys.
It's Samantha's favorite guest.
Oh, Samantha.
She's like, when we have him
She's
next?
like, this guy's awesome. He's not cocky at all. And so we had these guys in, and they were talking about their fighting and everything. And then who would have known your suit of armor doesn't protect you against a vaccine or against a virus, does it? Look at you now. But then we got to get him back in. See what's going on with the Orlando medieval combat fighting.
So they basically emulate what it would be like fighting in suits of armor back in the day with swords and everything. They just do it so someone can't die doing it. I'm sure they get hurt and like concussions and stuff. I mean, you hit someone over.
The blunting is actually worse. They should sharpen those swords up good.
Like, if you hit someone with a Braveheart sword as hard as you could, even if you had the suit of armor helmet on, it is going to ring your bell, right?
Do you want to know why I know that?
Why?
Because when I was a young boy, probably 12 or 13, I hit an oak tree with a poorly made redneck samurai sword, and I hit the oak tree so hard that I thought I was going to have to go to the hospital because my hands hurt so bad.
Yeah. Because
you're like, ah! And then you go scream crying to your mom because you actually think you hurt yourself.
Now, girls don't think this is cool at all, right?
I thought you were going to ask if girls participate.
No. Well,
there are female competitors in this as well. Yes.
Do they dress up now? I'm being serious. Do they dress up like a man? Because they wouldn't have traditionally have been fighting unless they would have like strapped their breasts down and got like a traditional, like a page boy haircut, right? They would have had to almost Mulan their way into the fighting ranks.
But now you go and you can not use regular history, use like Game of Thrones. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You get into the fantasy world where like
I'm Khaleesi now.
Yeah.
All
like
right.
the knight.
Is that allowed, Christine?
No, I actually read through all 17 pages. You must follow the form and function of the time and region of the fighter's armor. The armor has to be specified in certain thicknesses, and you have to have full head, neck, upper body, and arms covered in full steel armor without using any titanium.
No titanium allowed.
Look at that research, 17 pages.
I know, my God.
Is it just when someone takes a knee or like gives up that they lose, or do you have to like physically knock them over? Do they have, what I'm saying? Like, when is
steal their gold from the dragon?
Because if this was real, the person you die. Yeah, when you die, you lose.
Not necessarily. Yeah. You put the sword on their throat and you do that move where you got your foot on them. Yeah, and you're like, I have bested you, sir. Admit defeat, or I shall kill you and burn your village to the ground. You do that.
Okay, yeah.
So during the melees, they do have a 3-point system where any 3 points of your body, if they're touching the ground, you are considered out, or you can submit. They don't allow anything to be placed on the neck, so no choking. You're not allowed to hit behind the knees, but you can trip. So basically the same rules as something like wrestling, where once you are pinned to the ground, you are considered out.
Like robot wrestling.
It's amazing being able to ask someone questions and have them know the answers.
I feel like I've got nothing to do here. I'm so...
My God.
Just let her have the show.
I can't believe you knew that.
I'm just sitting here calmly as she answers my every whim and desire.
I can't believe you read the whole story and you have a versed understanding of the topic you're talking about and the story itself.
This is fantastic.
Amazing.
And every time I look over, now this is truthful, every time I look over, I'm like, oh my God, who is that? And I'm like, oh my God, it's like a beautiful woman. It's not EJ.
Welcome back to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. This is Tom.
And this is a Dan.
Did I say this is?
It sounded like you did.
Yeah.
Did I? But then I thought, am I going to not be fancy enough for what we're doing here? I need to be fancier. And then...
No, I be fancy.
Yeah, it's always... let's just be real with it. We're feeling it. It's the Monday. Every time we come in here on Monday, it's like doing it again for the first time. I'm like, where is everything? And then, but right around like the end of the day, I'm like, I got this. And then I'll do Tuesday good, Wednesday good, Thursday okay. I start to slip a little bit. Friday, mess it all up. Saturday, Sunday, party, mess it all up. Monday, back to doing it again for the first time.
Yeah, Wednesday is when we hit our peak.
It is. Wednesday, Thursday morning.
This is coming out on Wednesday, so we should be at our peak.
No, because we're recording this on a Monday. And Thursday morning, I am going. Thursday morning, I think that's when I really... If you wanted to catch... I write a lot of songs on Thursday mornings. I finish a lot of dumb parody garbage. I do it on Thursday mornings.
You are on top of Everest taking a selfie, and you took your glove off, and you forgot that you get almost instant frostbite.
Indeed. That's why I'm known around these parts as Mr. Thursday Mornings. That's what they call me. Sam, do you have any emails for us?
I do.
If you'd like to send us an email, show@tomandan.com is the way to do it.
Breaking things in a fit of rage. Yes, I feel satisfied. Hey, Tom and Dan. So you guys hit this again on a recent show and brought up the guy throwing his weed whacker around the front driveway.
I like a fit, and it does have its place. I will not be anti-throwing a fit. There are times when it works. There's a reason that there's this Orlando Smash Academy or something.
The Smash Rooms.
Yeah, and you go to the Smash Room to get your aggression out. There's a reason that works.
Because people don't go to therapy, they go to Smash Rooms.
Well, I mean, I think you can do both. You can do both.
It's just, I mean, I've gotten mad plenty of times in my life where I've punched something, like in the garage. At least smart enough not to break the things I love. I never got to that
I'm not a punch guy, but I am
biscuit break stuff?
I project irrational forms of self-awareness onto tangible objects. I give them a personality. I give them a need to fight against me. I give them, like, they become like an enemy to me. And then since I've projected this idea that, let's say this computer were wronging me by not turning on or not doing what I needed to, I have created this narrative within my brain that it is me against the computer now, and I'm a smash. Do you see what I'm saying?
Oh, okay, yeah.
So I look at it, I'm like, you're not going to get me, I'm going to get you. Like, I make it like it's a human, and then I break it, and then in doing that, makes me feel like I have won.
Gotcha. It's like hoarders do that.
Yes.
But they become attached to the item.
I'm a version of a hoarder, but I'm not the bad I'm like a nicer version of a hoarder.
You're anger hoarder.
I'm an anger hoarder, yeah.
But you're not hoarding it.
No.
You're just breaking.
I break. I'm a break hoarder.
But you're like, this computer has a personality. It's you are going.
It's irrational. It's not real.
Fight it.
Right.
Yeah. So what's this guy saying?
Tom says you can't feel satisfied after that, and I say I feel satisfied almost every time I have rage broke something.
I agree.
I have broken a lot of things in my life, but my breaking rages have steadily declined as I've gotten older, but the satisfaction was and is there most times. The most recent thing I rage broke was also a weed whacker, and I was very, very satisfied when it was destroyed.
It's a simple machine. It's easy to break.
I was super happy to buy another one the next day because I knew I wasn't going to have to deal with the piece of garbage ever again. I guess that's why it's satisfied most times. If I throw the video game into the lake, I did this a long time ago, I would replace it with a different one. If I get mad at a laptop and break the display or throw it as hard as I can into a dumpster, breaking it into a million pieces, I'm super satisfied and happy, and I'm getting a new one that isn't going to be an a-hole. Now,
see, he's doing it. He's doing it. He called it an a-hole. That's what I do.
Yeah.
Yes, but
because that's not real.
Now, why didn't I replace them before I rage broke it? I have hope for the item each time I battle with it. Next time it won't be such a battle, I think. Then after battling time and time and time again with the items, it's time for rage breaking. I full on expect Tom now to launch into a full pop scream talk tantrum of how and why, since it's something he doesn't think or do. That's fine though, because I scream how, why also when I hear these self-inflicted orb stories. We all have our stuff. Thanks so much for providing the content you do. It's a great place to go when you're tired of the culture and political wars.
You kind of do your own version of rage breaking, but you do it in a neglect breaking. You do a slow turtle version of what we do. We get it out fast. You just walk away. Like, let's say you wanted to rage break your plants.
It's abandonment.
It's abandonment. He loses interest. He leaves his plants, and then they still break. They still fall apart. It's just over time they fall apart.
That's throwing something away. And I will agree with this person. This is not. It's not totally what I was talking about breaking something, then feeling satisfied after. You are breaking something that's already broken, and in your mind, you've given up on it, and you are smashing it in order to go buy a new one. That's different than what I was, like my buddy Fernando. He got a video camera, a handheld handycam video camera when he was in high school, and it was his prized possession, and he loved it, and he filmed himself skateboarding, and you know what I'm saying? Like, and he bought it for he could film skateboard
It meant
tricks,
something to him,
and he raged through it out his window. And so that's different because that wasn't something that continually broke and you were going to go buy a new one.
Yeah, you were getting frustrated with the item because something was wrong with it. Yeah.
I am the type
I'm saying
of guy.
breaking something you love and that you cherished and that you wanted. That I can't. How can that be satisfying?
It's a moment. It's a lapse. In the moment, it is satisfying. Afterwards, there is regret. Yeah. But I understand what it feels like to be a Fernando. And to be the type of person where let's take the age-old infamous, if we're going to discuss this, Xbox controller debate. I have a brand new Xbox controller. I'm playing the video game. The video game doesn't go my way.
And I smash it.
In a lapse of judgment, I smash the controller. It does feel good in the moment that I'm smashing the controller. Afterwards, not so good.
Instantly afterwards. Like, that's the problem.
It's like a beat later.
When Fernando threw his camera out of his second-story window, instantly...
It's a release when you do that, though. It's like, yeah!
Yeah, but like, as soon as it left his hand, I know he felt regret.
Yeah.
Because he loved that damn video camera.
I've done this before.
He got mad when we brought it up.
I've been one of these guys.
Every time.
I haven't done this to guitar, but I could see myself doing it to a guitar. none of you guys are going to fully understand this, but I could see in a scenario, I'm just creating one in my mind, where I've got my new guitar and I'm polishing it. And in the turn of polishing it, I slip, or let's say I accidentally drop it. It falls. The back of it dings against a piece of furniture. I look at it. I'm so mad that I dinged it. I pick it up and smash it. I'm just saying that is a thing that people do. I do that, and I'm brave enough to say that I am that flawed. Like, that sounds like something.
That's an insane thing to do.
It's an insane thing to do, but I'm telling you, I'm honest enough with
is killing yourself because you're fear death.
Yeah. Like, the asteroid is heading to the Earth, and I can see it.
Now, Crystal argues that she doesn't want to die, and, like, she wants to control it.
Yes.
And she doesn't want to die in some fiery thing. And I'm like, well, who cares how you die? You're still going to die. No. So why are you killing yourself? Well, what if something happens?
I would take the asteroid.
Ride it out.
I think I'd rather, in this instance, actually thinking
and
about
I think it instantly kill you. The fire. You'd feel it for a split second.
I would take the asteroid because the asteroid is better at killing me than I am at killing me.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
You
got to go with the. You got to go with the. I guess the logical choice here is what's going to kill you the fastest and easiest. It's going to be asteroid if it's real.
But I guess
it's real,
it's the terrifying aspect of not knowing. I don't know. It's just something.
But that's what I do.
Yeah.
That is, like, I can put myself in the position of being
You're mad that you scratched your
scratch my iPad screen,
and then
so
you
I break the iPad because if it can't be perfect, I don't want it.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of that in there.
That's a little different too. Like that, I think goes
I have a little bit of that
extra step of insanity. Where like, hey, I'm almost using my fit of rage as an excuse
to get a new one. Yeah, I've done that.
Where it's
I've done that on an iPhone before.
That's premeditated, bro.
That's a crime.
That's a difference between 20 years in prison. You know what I'm saying? Like now,
planned out.
That's a more severe crime.
That's not a crime of passion.
Yeah. It's like you're using the fit of rage to justify the planned killing of your wife.
You know you want.
That took a turn.
You know you want a new iPhone, and you know you're good at raging. So you use your rage to dispose of an old iPhone.
I think didn't you do this to like a BlackBerry one time back in the day?
Oh, when it wasn't working, I smashed it?
Or you smashed it to get the iPhone or something like that. I remember.
It may have been an argument. That was the day. There may have been an argument with a girlfriend at the time who's like, why do you need the latest and greatest technology? She's like, you got a perfectly good BlackBerry. And I'm like, no, I don't. And I smashed it.
To get a new one?
Yeah, dunked it into a pool or something.
Okay.
I don't remember that, but hey.
We're staying on the rage train here.
Yeah, I like it.
Smoke detector rage.
Man, this is a good one.
So I recently changed all my smoke detector batteries after one started beeping to signify a low battery. After only a couple of days, one started beeping again, so I changed the battery again, thinking...
Sorry, I was just going to say, pause for a second. You know what I almost hate more than the beep? The tiny green light that's blinking while I'm trying to sleep. And I can see it. My wife's like... I do, but I can see it anywhere it's at. It's like those pictures of an old man or woman where their eyeballs follow you.
Yeah.
The little green light, doesn't matter where it's at. For whatever reason, I'll put my sleep mask on, and then that little area around my nose, I can see a green light just blinking. I'm like, there it is. I can see it.
That's some form of hypervigilance like Crystal has. They're weird.
I hate it.
I can't even imagine noticing something that minuscule in my life.
No, smoke detectors don't need lights.
I'm the type of person that I think me and the Grizz one time went like 6 months with it beeping. And it drove Crystal, drove her crazy enough till she changed it. And we had like an old crappy voltage ceiling.
I just completely took mine apart at the last house I lived at, and I didn't have one for 10 years.
Yeah, if you don't have kids, it's kind of like...
It's okay if I die in a fire.
No, you'll know. It'll get hot. You'll start choking. You'll get out the window.
You're fine.
It's a first-story house. You don't have bars in your windows.
Your cat will be like purring or something.
You can get out there. You open it up, knock the screen out. You're good.
No.
What's it going to be?
You won't burn
it's just going to be a candle or something, right?
Right.
Or a joint like you left burning.
Yeah.
I think you're fine.
Yeah.
Let's talk about smoke detectors for a second. When I come to your house, if I'm walking around and you painted your house, but your smoke detector's still eggshell yellow, I judge you. I judge you hard. I see it and I go, they didn't get a new cover for that. I was like, that's disgusting. There's who was smoking in this whorehouse? This is terrible.
I like to when they paint the smoke detectors.
Yeah.
Or like you painted the holes, the sensor holes. You painted the sensor holes,
At least take a screwdriver and run through the vents so the sound comes through.
So he says, I changed the battery again, thinking it may have been a dud Duracell. Then last night...
Wait, pause again. Smoke detectors. Why do they use the big rectangle battery? Nobody likes the big rectangle battery.
With the 9-volt?
And it's expensive. You go to buy one rectangle 9-volt battery, it's $22 for one battery.
Also, can we make them smaller, like the detector itself?
Put it don't we have the batteries as the old people put in their ears for their hearing aids?
It's probably one of those things
Hardwire it into the house. That's a good idea, right? Put it into my power.
Yeah.
They could, but there's no reason
Why can't we have it run off electricity?
Yeah, run it off electricity. That's a great idea.
You could make them hardwired. That's a fancy ones, though.
Fancy ones? Yeah. It should just come with the house.
Standard with the house.
Well, you got to have someone hardwire it.
No, but it should be like in the code. They should say, okay, you're going to have one of those.
That's like saying, hey, this house has no windows. Oh, well, go get one installed.
Yeah, that's the fancy ones. Got the windows.
Then last night, which is 2 days after the last change,
how did you and I get grumpier than Tom?
I don't know. I grabbed my bum-beating bat I keep leaned up behind the front door and rage smashed the smoke detector off the ceiling and then smashed it to bits on the floor.
Yes.
I will now be installing a new smoke detector this weekend after I fix the hole I made from smashing it off the ceiling.
Yeah.
Do you guys have random rage on stupid things, which we just
Not like that. Not like that. That's a bad one.
I do like just knocking it off the ceiling.
Also, bums do nothing to you, sir. Why do you have a bat to beat them with?
I, too, keep a bat near my door.
Well, that's a robber.
Yeah. That's not for homeless
That's a
people.
home intruder
but I figured they're going to kick my door in and have guns anyway. What's the bat going to do? They're going to use the bat. No, they're going to use that on me is what all they're going to do.
You don't got bat skills like I do, bro.
I don't have any bat skills.
The knocking your smoke detector off the wall again.
But see, if
you're gonna have to replace it when your wife yells at you, or do you want the kids to burn in a fire? Right. And then you're gonna.
But if I saw like a home footage of him doing that, I would laugh.
Yeah.
That is funny.
And maybe, again, this is not what I was talking about. You were going to have to buy a new one anyway. You just broke your garbage to make yourself feel better.
Right,
if you break your
put a hole in your
listen, when I punch stuff in the trash, I throw it hard to break it. I don't care. It does give you a release. That's different than breaking things you love, though. Anyway. All right.
Yeah, the smoke. You know what? The smoke detector thing is bothering me that we haven't come.
Yeah, where's the technology in smoke detectors?
I mean, we got Nests and we got cameras everywhere, and we got all kinds of drones and all kinds of crazy stuff. And you can't tell me we can't figure out a better smoke detector than the one that takes the square battery and beeps crazy annoying in the middle of the night with a green light.
Dude, there are some products out there, and it's bizarre, that haven't gotten better or changed because there's been no demand for new ones, right? So people have always been fine. They probably, I'm sure whoever makes smoke detectors have like a research and development team that maybe they put out a smaller, more like a streamlined smoke, and it didn't sell. So they're like,
"Oh, come on, it would sell."
A waste of their money. No,
maybe that's bad marketing.
Listen, it's capitalism for sure. A company tried to make more money by putting out a more streamlined, better-looking smoke detector,
and
it didn't sell. And there's a reason.
You can buy one for $20 or $5 or whatever, like the standard white one.
Ooh, there's a Google Nest smoke detector. I might get this.
Well, now they're all hooked up. Like mine's hooked up to my security system, and then
you can get them free from the fire department. Somebody told me.
Yes, you can, but they're the big jumbos.
But
I don't want a big jumbo.
But they're free.
Like mine are one it calls the police if it goes off. It's like
goddamn.
It's hooked up to like the alarm system.
Yeah, mine's hooked up to the alarm system.
It's got like a Bluetooth in there, and so it's just like if your alarm goes off.
So if you don't turn it off within like 30 seconds, it calls the cops.
Well, if it detects smoke, like I've done a bunch of times cooking because we have no vent. Because I didn't spring for the goddamn vent.
And Orlando Fire Department shows up, and then one of them's a BDM, and he yells at my wife.
How many times have you renovated that kitchen? You didn't spring for the vent?
No, don't talk about it.
To get the vent, it's a whole thing, and you have to then you have to get exhaust through the roof. And I was like, who needs a vent? And then I even resorted to not even cooking that I want to eat. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot this is ACT.
Wow. This guy is hot about smoke detectors.
Oh, my God.
I forgot we were doing ACT. I thought we were still in the BDM show.
What the
We've already had lunch and everything.
I know. Just
put me in there. I don't want to be left out. I said the F word right there.
No vent. So I constantly have to run over to the smoke detector and then fan
and wave it.
The smoke when something like butter spills or whatever, anything smoky.
The butter.
I have to go with a plate because if it sets it off, then they have to call. Then they call. They're like, "We're here. Everything's."
I burnt my chicken again.
This is what I do. I go, Andrea. I go, hey, I'm making homemade pork rinds. And we're frying them. Well, I'm not making that. But,
right.
So she'll call and then tell them to wave calling the fire department for 30 minutes while I cook the pork chops, right?
Yeah.
And then I do it within the window, and I got to get done and make sure it's all, because if that thing, he's right, if it goes off and then they call you, if they call you, they'll be like, what's your code? And you give them the code, and then they'll be like, everything's okay? And you're like, yeah. And they're like, wow, okay, we already called them, so you're out of luck. And once
cops
or the fire department, and they cannot tell them to not.
Like, they have to double check.
If you don't answer back, they'll.
Once they're coming, they're coming. That's the law. Apparently, once they've been dispatched, they cannot he called us. Oh, get him on the horn.
False alarm.
Yeah, false alarm.
They'll fine you. I think you get
times.
one a year or something like that, and then they'll fine you. Because I remember the fire department.
Christine says it's 3.
That's a lot of waste of their time. Think about how many times they go to false alarms.
That's probably most of the time, right?
Yeah.
During COVID,
99% of the time.
I had 2 of them during COVID where I had to hide from the firefighters because I'm a pussy, and some of them are BDMs, and they yell at my wife on the balcony. And they're like, where is he?
Man.
What's he cooking tonight? They're yelling at her.
Well, don't they call you through the speaker and you call them off?
They had already called them.
Oh, they had
already, once they're dispatched, the lady, she's just there to see if you need any immediate help. I'm like, no, I'm burning alive. We're good.
Because it happened when we were renovating the house, and I didn't even know it. When the real men came to chip up all the tire, it was dust crazy in there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that'll do
and
it.
I forgot about putting the bags over the smoke detectors or whatever. And then I didn't know, and it was going off. I don't think those guys, they're in there with the machine, that little tile removing machine. It's like a tiny little Zamboni with a crazy
with blade.
A blade in the front. It's like, da, da, da. It's so loud. And then my smoke detectors, the fire alarm's going off. They didn't even stop working.
That's not their business.
No, I know, but it was so loud. I went inside, oh my, smoky. I'm like, how are you working in this environment?
Tile thing? I'd love to just run it through somebody's house. You just straight through the center of it and then just leave the path and then just leave out.
God, you see some people's jobs and you're like, oh my God, this is insane hard work, the hardest work I've ever seen someone do, and you do this every day? It blows my mind. I can't believe they do it every day.
Speaking of not hard work, I did notice that at the patio furniture store on Colonial, they're hiring. Thinking of picking up a shift.
Dude, everybody's literally
selling patio furniture.
I'm not joking. There's not one company that's not hiring.
Are we hiring?
No, we are not. We are not. We're trying to
actually
unhire.
We're firing.
Yeah. This job.
I've been putting out signs all over. We're firing people. It's happening.
I don't know why you need to know, but we're telling you.
I feel the need to tell people. It's kind of like when Tony told us he had 3 old fashions. It's like nobody needs to know that, but I'm telling you. We are firing crazy. I'm telling you. Now firing. All positions. Okay, we're all over the place. But what's interesting is that we're taping this, full transparency, we're taping this on what Sam and I have deemed Karaoke Thursday.
Yeah.
So when we go live on Twitch, and you can watch all of this, all of us singing and everything, just go to twitch.tv/Tom and Dan Live. During the breaks, we sing Karaoke Thursdays. We were singing a little Lionel Richie. And then you said, what do you want to sing, Tom? And then Tom, I know he ain't going to sing. This is not his thing. But then a light bulb went off in your brain because you were like, oh, my God, maybe I'm the guy that a hypnotist or a skeptic, or what do you call those guys? Not skeptic.
Mentalist.
A mentalist. You're the guy they want because you said, I won't sing and I don't want to sing, but I can be forced into singing.
Yes.
He said he could be forced into doing anything.
Yeah, you said, well, that was the quote, is I can be forced into doing anything.
Yeah.
Now, is it...
Yeah. Pure pressure works on me 100% of the time.
Okay.
Calling me a chicken works, like Marty McFly. 100%.
Are your boys peer pressured a lot?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
No. Well, They are susceptible to it. If I chant Tommy, like, if I chant Tommy's name, he'll jump off the cliff.
He pumps him up.
He'll do it, because he doesn't want to let down the people that believe in him.
Oh my God, that breaks my heart.
I'm like, he's got what I got. He's doomed.
Yeah,
he's doomed.
I've seen the chant. Like, he was going inside to get clothing on, and then Crystal started doing Tommy, and he's like, I got to jump right back in. I got to go for it.
It's the opposite. It's not because he wants to impress the audience or somehow like be braggadocious and be like, look at me, I did it.
Right.
He doesn't want to let them down. Because I feel me and Tommy, it's weird. I don't know if you see, like we talked about this before, tons of yourself and Maisie and like different personality traits and stuff that they were just born with. I see so much of that in Tommy, not so much as Max. I see different things in Max that I have, but that not wanting to disappoint people, not wanting
is that a people pleaser? What is that?
I don't know. It's
for
horrible.
sure, people pleaser.
That's like a thing,
you can
right?
go to therapy for that,
Yeah, people can because that can end up.
It's helped me a lot.
I think
it's hurt me a lot.
I think all of this stuff can.
Which one has it done more for?
I don't know,
okay.
Sam.
But I think anything, right? Anything that's like, there's a reason that Kanye West calls his mental problems his superpower, right? I mean, there can be benefits to these type of things.
Yeah, he just realized, like, hey, I could write
really crazy
creative
music.
Creative music, outside the box music if I don't take my medication. Now I'm going to be living in Atlanta Stadium and doing crazy ass. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to be doing crazy things with MAGA hats on. You know, all these things that he's doing. But what comes with that is the great music that he's able to produce. So I guess it's like, I'm just giving up my sanity for my success.
So
right?
the example on trial here is you in the audience, I guess. We've got Mentalist on stage. He needs somebody to come up and help him. If he selects you, you're not going to raise your hand, number one. But if he goes, how about you, sir?
Yeah.
Stand up, sir. Because they do that move. They don't ever go, would you like to do it? They don't ask you, would you like to? They go, how about this guy? Stand up, sir.
And then they give him a round of applause. Then that round of applause
pulls you in.
It pulls me in because I'm afraid to disappoint all the people that are strangers, by the way. They're just applauding for me to go up there.
I've already given you my hand.
And it's too awkward for me to be like, no, I'm not doing it. And
I saw that guy at SeaWorld. And it was uncomfortable.
I love that. If I had any of what that guy has, my life would be so much better, or at least I think so. Who knows? You are who you are, I guess. But it's like, I wish I had the ability to just be like, screw that, I'm not getting up there. And then he'll move on, you know what I'm saying? But instead, I'll be like, ugh, and I'll get up there because everybody's clapping for me, and then I'll sit on stage. I'm like, this, I know in my mind, I'm like, this is not going to work. And then the guy is super excited.
Yeah.
It's kind of like when I went up with Michael Barron, the magician.
Exactly like that.
And I wanted to, like,
and you danced for the table.
You actually ended up ruining it a little bit because you went.
You hammed it up too much.
You hammed it up like you looked.
I thought that's what he wanted.
You looked like
I wanted to give him what they want.
God, you looked like a small town dum-dum when you went out there.
I know!
And you're not.
I didn't want to do it!
I get so
I
tired.
hated every second of it. I hated it.
Can I tell you?
I hated that I did that. I'm embarrassed that I did that. I'm embarrassed that my sons will see that.
I am tired.
I don't want to do it.
I am so tired.
I hate it.
You know what? Tired's not the right word.
I hate it so much.
I am exhausted. I am exhausted from telling people and saying, no, he's really smart. He's really smart.
No,
right.
No.
You got to convince people, yeah.
Because he is.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, this is not based on intelligence. No. This is the irrational, weirdo thing that I am.
So are you going to hire Jay Moore to be your life coach?
Okay, yeah. So
something must have happened in Tom's life that...
No, it didn't, dude. I was born this way.
Did you let somebody down?
Baby, I was born
No, Tommy is this. And he didn't... he grew up the exact...
He learned it from you, Dad.
Was your dad like this?
He didn't... my mom says he is, but my mom says so many different things. My mom says like my dad wouldn't have confrontation with until it became like a redneck fight.
A gunfight.
Carry guns. Anyway,
was I not supposed to talk about this?
But he tried to avoid confrontation too. So maybe it's from him. I have no idea. Well, but I got the extreme.
The last person that was in here that tried to psychoanalyze you with any level of success, I should probably add on there, was comedian Jay Moore. That was at the Improv. He came in here, and for those of you that might be listening to our show and have been for a long time, if you've heard this particular episode, it's sort of a legendary interview with us because Jay starts pulling what you and I have kind of boiled down to like mentalist-style tricks in order to connect with you.
Yeah,
and try to pull things out of your brain.
He's able to, I guess, garner enough personal information based on his ability to read people's personalities, or and to make it seem like he's knowing things that it's impossible to know.
And I'm not throwing any negativity on him. He's a sweet man. We loved having him in.
No, he said he wasn't claiming to be psychic.
Yeah, I'd love to have him back in.
This is something he is selling on his website. He can be your life coach. His ad says, unlock your best self. Rediscover your purpose. Become the you've wanted to be. I will help you. I'm an intuitive. It's like a psychic, but real. Together we find the places you are blocking yourself because of your past conditioning and history. You were born magnificent, and that has not changed. I have never worked with someone who hasn't seen profound results. I will send you a non-disclosure agreement to ensure your privacy. What I do is intuitive, sometimes a little spooky. Know that you are safe and protected.
This is a good example. Like, he is actually summing up what he does very well. That's an honest ad.
And it's true. Like, this is not BS.
No, it's not.
He says he will never break your trust or manipulate you in any way.
I'm telling you, like, when he was at the end of that Jay Moore, and we should put that out.
He's got testimonials.
All right, let's put it back out.
He was like,
hey, can you reach back out to him and see maybe if he could zoom into us?
Yeah.
Because I want to talk about.
We need to replay
we were doing this. We will.
It is Norm's favorite interview, by the way.
We were doing this with Jay before this was even an idea, even in his head, I think.
Well, remember I think we said in the interview, you're doing what a psychic does. Remember? He's like, and then he probably figured it out over the years, and people are like, hey,
you're good at this.
You're really good at this, and you could sell this, because it's true. When someone does this to you, and I can only describe it like that.
You'd have to listen to
Maybe he can help you, Tom.
It makes you think there's some supernatural ability. You're like, well, how'd you know that? Because I think most of us we're not that intuitive. I think it's something like, it must be some humans are way more like this guy and psychics and stuff than others.
I think your wife has a level of this.
She's not emotionally intuitive, I think. Like,
okay, well,
she's hyper,
that would make sense, because you can have it in different areas, right? It doesn't have to be in just one area of your life.
She's hyper vigilant in the fact that she notices everything, but maybe not like knowing, being intuitive to a person and knowing where things came from fast. I've never seen her do that. I'm telling you.
Interesting.
The only people I've ever seen do it in real life are psychics and Jay Moore, and I think maybe mentalists. I tried to get it out of that one mentalist we interviewed and asked him about this, and he didn't really want to dive into it. I think he was new.
The Fringe Festival guy.
Yeah, I think he
wanted to do a good job, and he didn't want to
because it's a thing. I think it's not openly talked about.
No,
because it downplays the supernatural.
Right. It's
part
just
of
like magicians who do this. I feel like you have to be extremely comfortable, and you have to be in the space for a period of time to earn the ability to reveal it.
Yes, yeah.
If you haven't earned the
it's like their superpower.
Koshik Kimlot has let us know certain things, but only because he has gone through the trials to get to a point where no one will ever look at him and be like, "You shouldn't be doing that."
Yeah, he's paid his dues. He's one of the best. So he could say, "This is an illusion. I'm tricking you."
Interesting. So is this going to be this is just a private lesson?
Yeah. He's just doing peer-to-peer.
He's taking on clients. Yeah. You just fill out a form on his website.
Give me a few of the testimonials.
Give me a
couple
let's go
testimonials.
with the first one here.
This is
JJ. They call him JJ. JJ is a gifted, intuitive coach. If you are wondering if you should reach out to hire him, follow that hunch. I'm glad I did. I'm a spiritual director and a pastor. I know the value of a good coach. JJ is a good coach. What makes his coaching special is JJ himself. Working via email held a unique power. Organizing your thoughts and examining them because our words matter. In his most helpful response to me, he opened with, "You're full of S." I was full of S. He is compassionate, kind, no fluff, and his coaching gave me the keys to see a victim mentality that I was holding on to like a lifeline. And then he signed his name.
What's weird
and
about
then under his name said a guy less full of S than before.
I wonder what's weird.
Very honest.
What's weird about these things is, and the same.
I don't
thing
like they call him JJ
with psychics. This is basically therapy. He's just a really good therapist.
Yes. You don't like the word. You don't like the name JJ because the name JJ has a stereotype of being a fast talking.
Well, your name should be two J's. His name's Jay Moore. It's not J. It's not JM.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Where's the other J come from?
We don't know his middle name.
What is it?
I don't know.
It could be Jay.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, it could be.
Because everybody in the testimonials calls him Coach JJ.
It's probably his middle initial of some, but it
like
is like
TC,
yeah, but JJ is something like traditionally the
His middle
stereotype-
name is Ferguson, guys.
Okay, you're right.
JF.
Why? Yeah, you can't just call yourself JJ. It's like calling yourself Junior, but you're not a junior. If you don't take
I've been doing that.
Anyway,
I call myself Lil Guy.
Little guy?
Lil Guy.
What's interesting about the psychology of this is they usually just, because when Jay was doing this intuitive thing to me,
JJ.
Please, Coach JJ.
He was just telling me things. He's like, "Hey, you probably did your dad die?" Or like he started guessing things that were true. He's just telling me what happened in my life.
Like John Edwards,
and it made me feel like, how'd you know that? Like how? Wonder what that, because it's not solving anything. He's not like, "Hey, you should do this" or whatever. He's just telling me things that yes, my dad. We all know, all our listeners know, my dad died.
Is it a more detailed version of if we had a woman sitting here that happened to be dressed scantily and was very skinny and had sores all over her face, and if I just looked at her and said, "Are you a stripper?" and she said, "Oh yes," how did you is it just a more mental version of you can size up the scenario? Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I'm being serious here. It's like,
that what I'm curious about is that, whatever that, I can understand, that ability probably comes from, he very quickly can kind of,
he picked up what answers you were saying and used those to shape a better idea of your psyche, right?
And then have an understanding of what causes some person's personality, this, that, he's doing this equation super fast in his head, and able, like I said, like a psychic, you start guessing right things based on a conversation. But what's interesting is the person that is accepting that or hearing that, does it cause us to have a instant connection with this person, or because there's something that is I think interesting or pleasing about that? Well, why? It's he's just telling you some truth about yourself that you already know, so it's not solving anything.
No, but sometimes people need that.
But it's.
I guess you're.
I think it's tribal.
Make you look at it.
I think it's tribal, and I think it's age old. It'd be no different than if we had a community village fire here, and me and Sam both walked up, and we both had red feathers in our headdress or whatever we were wearing at the time, and you see what I'm saying? There's a relatability there that breaks the ice, I feel like. So when he says that, I think your mind immediately gravitates to wanting to talk to him, because your brain is making also really fast equations, right?
Yeah.
And it's saying, "Oh, you recognize that in me.
Right.
You must be
we must
like
have
me."
a connection.
And then,
right.
so whatever advice he gives you, probably then it's like, "Oh, you're right. It is. I'm compensating or doing this because of this behavior." So you tend to believe that person more. So it's an instant trust thing.
I think so.
So it's not just in your head; it's someone else telling you about it.
And it's like therapy. It has to come from a stranger. If it comes from your wife or your kids or anything like that,
not my wife and
you
kids.
know what I'm saying? Then, so it's just like therapy. And he good for him.
I still think he needs a show, though.
But in his disclaimer, he did say he is not a professional. So
I think he should know that. Anyway, bye. Welcome back to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan, and we are in we're in the, what is this, Celtic Axe cage?
Yes.
We're in the Axe cage.
Here at Hourglass Brewing here in Longwood, which, by the way, is a beautiful facility. You should come by, bring the kids, let them play all the games while you drink delicious beer.
Except for the Axe thing. Which, I don't think they can do that.
Is there
They
an
can't
age
do
limit
that.
on that? 18 and over?
You can't do the Axe.
Okay,
but,
so
Mommy and Daddy can, and it'll be super fun.
I'm wearing Crocs right now. Is this a prank? Is this because Butler did say, and you guys sent me a text, wear closed-toed shoes. Yeah. Sorry, I've been drinking.
I am wearing your closed shoes too.
And then I'm like, it's at first I didn't look at the text. Then I was like, it's fine. I don't want to put it on.
I sent
my
a text
shoes.
this morning. In fact, I tried to beat Sam.
Yep.
To be I wanted to get the Responsible Randy Award today, and I sent the text this morning that said "Real Shoes Reminder."
Yeah.
Which sounds like a cool band name, too. We're the Real Shoes Reminder Band.
So, fortunately, Hourglass provides some Crocs if you didn't, like, wear
now, there
shoes.
were American Crocs that you forgot. You didn't get those. You went for the...
I'm surprised.
You went for
They're
the...
big. Those are too big.
You went for the Tiffany blue.
These are my size, or look like, I can't
the
tell.
ladies.
They got little feet. You know what that means. Small axe.
Anyway, so I'm currently wearing Crocs.
How do they feel?
I mean, you know,
like the feel.
They feel comfortable.
Yeah.
All right, you're turning them.
But I look like a clown.
No. Nobody
I
cares.
look like a gardener clown.
But nobody looks at your feet. That's what you think. That's your ego talking.
So anyway.
You think people think you're cool and are looking at you all the time. They're not looking at you.
Somehow I think this was a bully that you walked me right into.
We tried to help you and tell you to wear
but you
regular
knew
shoes.
I wasn't gonna take the help.
So then that's on you.
No.
Well, I mean, you can go put some pint glasses on your feet or something. I don't know. What are you gonna wear?
Anyway, Troy from Hourglass.
Some people call him Troy.
Two
Me
beers.
and you, we've had a couple beers. We call him Troy.
Dude, I'm not used to
It's a better way of living.
in the middle of the day.
Yeah.
and,
Welcome to Cable Man.
And now we're about to hand
It's a
him
better
an
way of
axe.
living.
This is good. This is like if you work hard and then you get up at the break of dawn and then usually
But
you're
we
off.
don't.
No, not for us. Not for us.
I woke up like at 11.
So-
I talk a little bit in a microphone.
So we did some practicing here at the axe throwing, and Troy showed us how to throw it, and we
gave us some tips and tricks.
When I first threw it, I was like, "Oh man, this is like we're not going to be able to."
But we got it. We got the vibes now. Everybody's got it.
Yeah, and so we're all able to actually stick the axe multiple times. So I think we're ready, right?
Okay. Yeah, we're definitely ready.
All right. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay.
All right. I'll hand my microphone to Butler. I'll reach down and grab my axe here.
All right. So
I'm going to stick on my lane that I like.
we're going to get 3 throws.
All at the same time, or?
No. Like, well, all at the same time. You'll do 3.
Yeah, just go 1, 2, 3.
Okay. Here we go.
Go for it.
All right, Danny. Let's see what you got.
All right, he's doing the one-handed
All
technique.
right,
He stuck
okay.
it. He stuck it.
He did stick it. What do we got there, Troy?
That's a 4.
Oh, a 4.
All right.
God, I would have bet so much money Daniel was going to lose.
He's doing it with the one-handed technique, too.
All right.
Oh, I missed that one.
That I
Missed that
feel
one.
like
We
it
got a
didn't
0
stick.
there.
It hit though, blade first, so I feel like he didn't put enough wing on it. Here we go.
Oh, he
All
got
right,
it
there's
again. Stuck
sticks.
again.
All right.
Troy
Oh,
says
full
it's a
draw.
4.
All right.
So a high score of 8 so far.
So Daniel's got 8. All right. Winner
next?
gets a luchador mask.
That was.
Butler.
I
$100
feel like I
cash.
should get that other the
Dude, that was-
second one better.
That was a good showing. I mean, that second one hit on the blade.
I limped it.
All right, now,
I limped it so it laid
Hold on.
flat.
Butler's up. He's also going one-handed.
Does Butler do?
he
Oh,
missed.
right off the bat.
In your face.
That's
I
a
knew
0.
it.
Swing and a
I
miss.
knew
A
it.
0 bugger.
Yeah, I knew he was gay.
I know he stinks.
I wanna
You
bully
stink,
him. I
Butler.
wanna bully him
I almost
so
called
bad.
You a 0 bugaboo.
Your wife thinks you're ugly.
Oh, he got right by the bullseye.
No, he didn't.
It's
That's not a
close.
bullseye.
That's
No,
not. Hey,
close.
tap the handle.
Troy,
You'll fall
look
out.
at
Tap
that.
the handle. It'll fall right
That's a
down.
4, he says.
Hit
Troy
him in
says
the
it's
head
a
with
4.
an axe.
Oh, my God.
Kill him.
Oh,
Hold on,
man.
did he get a bullseye? No.
Last throw for
No, he got
Butler.
a 4. He got
Okay,
a 4.
Oh. Another 4, so 2 8s.
Oh, we're gonna have
So
to
far.
throw off. We're gonna have a throw off.
My
All right,
God, I
guess
did
I'll
not
go.
think you guys were
We'll
going to do
leave
this
Tom
good.
for last.
You didn't think we did this?
No, I didn't.
I hope Sam wins. Because if she wins, she has to take her shirt off. She doesn't know that yet. She doesn't know that yet. What are we
the
doing?
winner's
This is bad. This is bad. Yeah, this is winner takes her clothes off.
Oh, that was a bullseye.
Oh, my God.
Oh, she hit the
Precision
garage
door.
door.
She must have thought she was stirring soup or something. She's a woman and all.
Oh, that's almost a bullseye.
That's a 4.
A 4. All right.
Oh,
so
she's trying to get them to throw off.
if
Take your time.
Samantha
Take your time. Don't
is gonna
rush.
hit a 5 or a bullseye.
Oh! One less than the men. I'm sorry,
here
Sam.
we go. So 2 8s and a 7.
Yep.
All right. This is up to Plant Daddy's coming in.
Let's see if these Crocs doing good.
All right, here comes Plant Daddy. He doesn't have his glasses. And his Crocs look good on him, by the way. Oh, yeah! He's so competitive too. He's going to be so mad.
If you skunk it, you got to walk around the building naked.
So angry. Oh my God! It's Croc power. Use your Croc power. He's very angry. He's showing off his muscles. It's a 4. All right, so he has to get a 4. If he goes higher, he wins. If he does not, then it's a throw-off between me and Butler, and possibly Tom. It is cold in here. Yeah, I can tell from Tom's
really
nipples.
hard right now.
And his boner. He's a full rager.
Look, his nipple hair's hanging out of his shirt.
My God, zip your pants. Yeah, zip your pants up. My God, man.
Yes!
3! Yes! Yeah, I didn't mean to. Oh my God, I grabbed Samantha's ass. I grabbed Sam's ass by accident.
You said yes and grabbed
I did. I got so excited. I up-grabbed her ass. I'm sorry.
We can't do that. All right. Yeah. We got a tiebreaker. Is it a 1-throw tiebreaker, Troy? How are we doing this? Oh, me? All right. Okay. Another round of 3. Butler versus Daniel. Don't let Butler win, please. Oh yeah! Bounce right off.
Oh, sorry. I could have been talking, but I was more concerned about the axe throwing. That's a 3.
Okay.
So I get a free shot, though, if I can get all 3.
Yeah,
Is that going to be conservative?
Yeah.
That's a 3.
All
That's 6.
6. Okay.
That's 6.
Here you go,
back.
Danny.
I'm going to use this axe.
Don't let an intern beat you. All right.
Donate my $100 towards Yellow Brick.
Oh!
Yeah!
I think the
way off.
Everybody gets their first throw.
All right, that's fine.
Yeah. At least mine hit the board.
Hit a 4 or 5. You got this. All right.
You lost.
No, hold on. No, bullseye. What's a bullseye worth?
5. So he's out. Butler got 6.
If you hit a bullseye, you win. I'll make the decision. All right. Here we go. All right, that's fine. Why did Butler have to win?
He's the true champion. Butler's the true champion. I didn't even stick it. I did. I know I've lost my job and ruined my family. I've destroyed everything I love.
No, the lawsuit will drag that lawsuit on.
Yeah, but my wife will leave me. I'll never see my child again.
The
Hourglass guys, they're all my only buddies. I'll just come over here and drink beers.
I feel like, oh man. All right.
Butler's doing. Oh, he almost got it. All right. Well, let's get out of here.
This is awesome. Just the ability to have this in your brewery and as a thing to do. You know what I'm saying?
It's definitely a step up. Yeah. It is better than Jenga. Yeah. Really big darts. Sure.
What's that behind you?
He's got a gun. I'm sorry.
I noticed some toys.
It was the perfect fit.
Is that
what are you going to pick up some toys for your sons? Is that on the way out of here?
Is that like vintage?
That's the stuff that bad dads buy their sons when they miss their birthday party because they were staying at Hourglass for too long. And the mom calls us. She's like, "Where are you, you idiot?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm at a business meeting. It ran long." And he grabs a Ninja Turtle and away he goes.
Yeah. Well, that's better than a dirty teddy bear from CBS.
That is true.
You get the awesome vintage toy. Anyway, this Hourglass Brewery in Longwood.
Check it out.
It's awesome. We're gonna do some promotions with them, including we got some pint glasses, some co-branded pint glasses we're giving away. We'll be getting those soon. Also, the mystery box promotion, mystery box vending. I'm going to talk to them. I haven't even brought this up, but I'm fairly certain we can get some Tom and Dan stuff in
the vending machine.
Yeah, in the vending machine. Because we were going to do that before, and it just sometimes things in the T&D universe just happen where it's like, the great magnet coincidences are like this is a sign that this is
like we walked in, we saw the
relationship.
mystery box vending, and we're like, oh,
Yeah,
okay.
we've been looking
what was our
in.
problem with mystery box vending? Where to put it?
yeah.
We didn't have a venue.
Yeah.
Now it looks like the stars or the axes have aligned. And here we are.
So when you come by here, we'll be talking more about all the promotions we're going to be
Looking
doing.
awfully comfy, and there's Crocs there, homie.
Yeah,
Got your
I
legs.
guess I could have taken them off.
But you know what? You could have taken them off, but why would you? Because they feel so snuggly.
I've never debated the fact that they're not a comfortable shoe. I've said how nerdy they look.
Right.
And that's my problem with them. Like same thing with water shoes. The utility of water shoes, it makes perfect sense. So when you're at the water park, if the floor is too hot, it's just you look so damn
the
dorky.
aqua sock.
Yeah, the aqua sock. It's so nerdy that I can't
My
get
dad
beyond
said that when I tried to surf in them, and they were Nike, and they had the grip on the bottom, and he's like, well, then what the F's your sex wax for? Stuff like that.
Yeah.
He's right. Should not get a fungus on your feet. Yeah. My mom would tell me, when you're at camp, wear your aqua socks at camp so you don't get fungus on your feet from showering.
You know how mad I am that Butler won this because I
well, I'm not mad at all because half of his job is spent at breweries not doing our work and probably throwing axes. He's like, hey guys, gotta drop by Hourglass and drop some stickers off. And then he'll just come over here and hang out and have some beers and throw some axes with his bros.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. That's how it works. Yeah, so don't feel bad. Don't feel bad.
Normally, if you like work at a company and
you let the bosses win.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Like I feel
especially me because I did miss all three. Well, I got to a point where I didn't care.
Well, I knew that. I'm the one. I'm telling you, it's been bothering me all day. I'll have to think of some sort of bit that I can beat Butler on next time, so I can be one up him. Because right now, I'm like he's knocked me down.
Were you last place?
No, I was tied with the girl.
I think okay. Well, in order to do this correctly, here's what we'll do. I'll go back behind the cage and get my lovely beer that they brewed that's getting warm while you guys are flapping your gums. And why don't you have a throw off against Samantha to see who's the girl? Because right now you're both girls.
Okay, all right. The one axe throw off.
What do you think?
Okay, all right. One axe throw off.
Is that fair?
But we got to see who's in last place because.
Thank you. Butler brought my beer in too. See, he feels bad because he beat me.
Okay.
He's like, yes, sir. I brought your beer in, sir.
So I'll.
Got your beer here, little guy. I didn't mean little guy.
All right, I'll go first.
Yeah, exactly. This is a place to forget you're on a show. I'll tell you that right now, man. I have never enjoyed a live show more. Wait. Move the axe. Yeah. I can't see that part. I think I read that on the laminated the guide. You're not supposed to axe on it. Okay, here goes Tom. He's concentrating. Oh, he did good.
That's a 4.
That's a 4.
That's a 4. It's a solid 4.
So Tom got a solid 4. If Samantha loses, you know what happens.
I know. He's like, get it for me.
If Samantha loses, it's Dump 'em Out Thursdays.
No, come on.
Stump 'em Out Wednesdays.
Oh, she had the bullseye.
It just laid gently on the bullseye.
It fell out slow.
The bullseye was like, dump 'em out.
That's a worn out bullseye.
Hey.
I'm sorry. All right.
We'll a lot of metal in those 4x4s.
If you guys want to come by Hourglass and the Longwood location, play some axe throwing and drink some beers. Come by. Yep. All right. We will see you guys next show. Bye-bye.